Radio Paranormal.
Welcome to Radio Paranormal.
Well, top of the Sunday to you, Mr. Brandon.
Oh, look at all the colors. What do you say there, Mallard? I like it. It's Mallard.
He's cute.
He's a duck.
He's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I need
What
to
do
go.
you say there, Mallard?
I
Well,
need
it
to go
looks like you're already having technical difficulties behind the scenes, aren't you? Yes, I am. It's going to be one of those shows. Ha ha! Sucks to be you. Fuck you, turkey. So that's what we're at.
I'm in the middle of what is it? It started when? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 5 days of St. Patrick's Day. We drag stuff on in New Orleans. I should have worn, you know what? Next week I'm going to wear my cabbage beads. I literally have cabbage beads.
I
got to dig them out, but yeah,
being,
got to wear them.
Being Scots Irish, I'm okay. I'm okay with it. And
then let's see, Tuesday, and then a couple days. Is it next weekend or the weekend after? It's the Irish Italian parade. So we just keep going with it. And then St. Joseph's Day. So we just kind of bite into Irish and Italian and don't let go for a while.
I mean, you got to do something while you're not eating fish or chocolate or
whatever. Yeah.
Or like whatever you're doing there for Lent.
I don't give anything up. I do something extra that I normally wouldn't do. And that's a positive thing. I figure it's kind of the same thing.
Well, you gave up, give it up. I'm good.
I did.
AA would not be okay with that. However, I got 5 years sober, so I'm gonna. Hello, this is Santa. Hello for everybody that's tuning in. Somehow the algorithm just kicked in. So
hi, Santa.
I'm Santa. Oh, all right. I got a DoorDash diary here for you.
Oh boy.
Probably one of the greatest lines I've ever heard in my entire life. So I was in a small town called Piedmont, and I was at the McDonald's doing a pickup, and there's 2 black ladies talking. One was like, she was 12 feet tall and she couldn't fit through the door, and the other one was short. Well, the conversation kind of went like, you can't bring your kid to McDonald's twice in one day. She said, that's gluttony. And the lady goes, bitch, why do you think I'm at Walmart? I mean, McDonald's. And I was like, I turned and I looked. Usually I leave people alone because I don't like talking to people because I do it, once a week on that's enough. Except for tonight's guest, present company accepted, of course, because the vibes that we were getting backstage, it's going to be a fun show.
Yes.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Where was I going with this?
I was going somewhere, and then I saw some new comments here.
And we're already off the rails. 3, 2, 1, and go.
I mean, not quite yet, but I mean, we're getting there. What do we need to talk about? I'll tell you what we need to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the super, super important stuff. As soon as I can find what I'm looking for. And I still haven't found. Okay, there it is. Let's talk about, there's this thing that's coming up in the middle of the summer when the mosquitoes are the size of alligators in the French Quarter of New Orleans. Who picked this weekend? Hell if I know, but hell is coming with us all because it's going to be 12,000 degrees. But look, it's real cheap to come and burn in hell. Let's put this up.
And that's why we picked it, because it's cheap.
Yes.
And we will be very significant going on while we're there.
I mean, that's one way to have a captive audience. Like, you get them in, and then they walk in at 60 degrees, feels great. They come in, browse around, then it's like 12 million degrees, and they're like, I can't leave.
As a hobbit throws a ring at you. Yeah, just about like that.
God. Welcome to Mordor.
Yeah.
Look, I am live. Who the hell is calling me? Y'all, hold on. Hang on. It's It's Donald Dunn. Hang on a minute.
Anyway, so
Hey, brother, you're on speakerphone and we're live. What's up?
Hi. Who's this?
My bad, man.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Thanks for calling. You know, I have a show every Sunday.
Sunday night.
Well, we're talking to Jennifer, and we just started, so our guest is in the background. So this is sort of how our show kind of goes. So I'll definitely call you back.
Sounds good, man. Y'all have a good show.
All right. Later. That's kind of funny because that's my boss at the nonprofit. So I have heard that people are like, "What's the catch?"
Yeah,
it's so cheap. Like, let's explain about that.
So there's no catch. The number when Chris and I decide to do something that we've never done before, the number one thing we do is research. What's made others successful? What's made others fail? What would people that have been to other Paracons change? What did they want to see? And one of the top things they said was they're getting so expensive. And we thought, check, let's figure this out. So the dates, especially for a first year Paracon. And it is going to go. There is a definite, this is going to go. This is not getting canceled. And then we went and sent salesman Chris out to do his thing. And he said, no, give me more. And he did. So that's why the packages are so cheap. You know, it's $349 for the RIP package. That is for a couple, for two people. It includes your room for 3 days and 2 nights. It includes your entrance to the Paracon and all the GA classes. That is perfect for someone who says, I want to pick and choose what I want to do on my own terms.
Right.
Then you go up to the VIP, which you have a couple classes included in that package, a ghost hunt included in that. And then, thank you so much. It is going to rock. And then the platinum package that says, I want to do everything.
100% to get you rock.
Right. And then there's an add-on for all packages for a weekend with Patty Negri and Sam Beltrusis, which is all her classes, chef's tasting dinner, a meet and greet, a seance, a gallery reading, an intuitive ghost hunt. I mean, let's just do stuff. And we were actually out filming B-roll and stuff tonight, including B-roll stuff from haunted history tours.
Haunted history tours. Tell me about haunted history.
They are our tour partner. So for those of you taking the Dead of Night Cemetery Bus Tour Ghost Hunt, that is through them. They are the oldest tour company in the city. We have been friends with them for over 30 years. The late Sydney Smith and the now Kalila, who is the inherited owner and also one of the founders. So if you want to go touring in New Orleans with the people who started it, these are your people. They have the cemetery tour. They do a daytime cemetery tour, which is educational. They do a pub crawl. They do a vampire tour, a true crime tour, a basic haunted tour of paranormal stuff. And then they do a 5-in-1 if you want a little bit of each, true crime, blah, blah, blah.
Ooh.
You can do that. So people are going to be able to book their tours. Those are walking tours. So short of one on a bus, those start at $30 a person.
You know, the first time I ever heard of a 5-in-1 was in some sort of files like recently. I heard that you pay extra for that. Then there was something about baby oil. I don't know, but look, the prices, whatever it is. New Orleans, you know, what happens in New Orleans, probably you need a doctor.
You need some shots.
They're going to need more than liquor.
Yes. And I'm so excited. Our guest tonight has been one of the best people that I've met on happenstance. And that is literally how we met while she was staying in New Orleans, and has just really been in that group of people who just so much want to be us to be successful. So instead of charging for her classes, she is going to be GA classes. And this is what she does. It is. And what she does is just so near and dear to anybody that owns a pet or has.
For real.
Yeah.
Like my dog's been going through it. I thought he was going to die not long ago. So I've always wanted to like look at it. Like I was talking to him in the vet's office. Like, I just wish you could understand this is really gonna suck, but it's for your own good. And I just can't. Everybody wants to be Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. So I'm super excited that this lady has agreed to be a part of this.
I hope Dr. Doolittle isn't like bad in this.
in this. Don't say Dr. Doolittle.
Don't say that. I did. So sue me. All right, anyway.
So I guess I should actually tell people her name.
I should probably get on my job and do these. Hey, my wife's there.
Angel Morgan, animal communicator, media psychic, paranormal investigator. She's just, I just want her to tell you about herself, but it says, we all belong to a tribe, a spirit family that extends far beyond the human realm. She has dedicated her life to bridging the gap between our world and the animal kingdom, honoring the creatures who choose us. Oh, I'm going to cry. Protect us and work alongside us as spiritual allies, because they just so do. Mm-hmm. She's a globally recognized powerhouse in the intuitive arts. True, because I've met her, and navigated through paranormal through every medium imaginable, from hosting her own TV and radio programs to touring stages across North America. She has brought voices to the voiceless to the masses. So currently she continues her mission through her hit series, Creole Code podcast. I'm just going to let her tell everything else because I'm going to get tongue-tied. I'm already all emotional because she's helped me. So Angel Morgan, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I got to do my intro. Ready?
Wait, yep.
Okay. She's the coolest person that I've met in the last 17 minutes and 34 seconds. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So let's go ahead and bring her on.
I'm listening to you from backstage and I can't breathe. I can't stop.
I told you. I gave you the warning.
He's talking, so I want to cry. You're talking, so I want to laugh. And I'm thinking, they're going to bring me on. I'm going to look like a more quacker than I am.
Welcome to
the show.
Well, hello.
Yeah. As we say here in the South, hey, how's your mama now? Right, welcome. Come on in on the porch. Buckle up.
Thank you for having me here tonight. I've been really excited. I really have been.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I have been. I have to apologize. I am in this beautiful space today. If you can see, that is what Niagara Falls in the background looks like. Or the city. I have been at a voodoo event all weekend, and I'm not in my own space. My own space, I really wanted to show everybody, has like skulls of animals and my zebra, my giraffe, and all that kind of stuff, because I surround myself with that animal energy all the time, and that's a really exciting thing for me. So I'm sorry I couldn't share that part of who I am, but I'm sure I'll be able to do that at another time.
Yeah, you will. And you know what's so funny? We were on part of the tour of the for our social media girl of the French Quarter, because she's out of Ohio. Today, you know who we went and saw? Papa Czar at Voodoo Authentica.
Ooh.
So we did a little voodooing today too. It's kind of interesting. And I got stopped by one of their Orisha at one of the altars to remind me to do some things that I should not do. And it's funny is that I don't myself practice voodoo at all. Not that I mean, it's real, man.
Okay, so apparently Haunted Syndicate, it has OCD and would like for you to move a little bit to this
for the mobile version. There you go. Yeah, you were one-eyed.
Well, you know what it is? Okay, there we go. Is that a little bit better now?
Yeah, I keep forgetting I've got both versions.
Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Yes, my microphone's in the way. I couldn't see your face on that
one. We try to do a great product, so thank you for the viewers for let us know.
I see. There, that's better.
Perfect.
See,
that help you here on the left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so
you're dead center. Now you guys got me feeling like I'm a little off.
I know. I'm like, wait.
Since I am a little off, let's get right back to it. Thank you, Haunted Syndicate.
Thank you.
And we're back.
So you did a little bit of voodooing this weekend too, huh?
We did, and it was not something I had done in a minute. So yes. Yes,
it's funny you're saying that, because that was what this weekend ended up being for me. It was about giving myself permissions. It was about giving myself permission to work with the Orishas who came to me so long ago, who are coming back to me now, right? And to those characters like Uncle Monday, right? Because I work with animals, there are so many important deities who want to work with me, and I need to kind of fully allow myself to do that. So I think that's the energy that's moving through right now, is permission.
Yeah. It's just real interesting. Same thing when I kind of figured out I had abilities and stuff. I felt like at one point I was getting interviewed because Freya showed up, Isis showed up, Dark Stuff showed up. I mean, it was just like, hey, look at my team. This is what it's like, touring college campus and finding out which clubs and sororities and fraternities you're going to join. That's really how it felt.
Right. I remember asking someone once, she was a healer that was working on me, a friend of mine. And I said to her, I don't know who I am and what I am. And she goes, well, why can't you just be what you need to be in the moment that you need to be it, and allow those who want to work with you, work with you? And that just changed my entire perception of everything. And I kind of went, oh, I get it now. So when different cultures and different peoples come to me now, I just kind of go, if you're welcoming me, I'm just going to sit in that gratitude. Right.
And just do it. Yeah.
Wow.
That comment up there is from Brandon's pretty half.
Well, I was going to say, this is my wife. I'm going to make sure we get to it. But she says deity and Orisha sometimes choose to reach out and speak to those who weren't raised in the tradition.
Yes.
Happened once to me, tried to be respectful and grateful.
I was just speaking to someone about just that. Tanya Hernandez is a healer, and she is like the epitome of what a healer should be. She's gone through so much in her life, and her Orishas and Santeria have really come forward for her. And we were talking, and I said, in Canada, especially, appropriation is a huge conversation. And so I said to her, I'm always afraid. I don't want to disrespect in any way, even though I've been told in South America, because I work with the South Americans as well, go do despachos. We give you permission, right? I'm always worried about that. And she said something that was really important to me. She said, the humans aren't the ones who give permission. It's the Orishas. If they want to work with you, why wouldn't you? Right? And that's not to say I will ever say that, I'm a Santarian priest, or I'm an Ifa, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. I'm not, but I have been given permissions to work with certain things. I've been shown certain things. So with respect and gratitude, exactly that your viewer had said, that's how I tend to work, even with animals. I actually had a woman tell me once, she turned, she goes, you can't work with animals. And I said, well, why is that exactly? Because that's appropriation of our culture. And I'm like, what? Excuse me. And it took me everything in my power not to laugh. And I thought to myself, okay, wait, I don't understand, because I know very many different cultures who work with animals too. What makes us different? Animals are their own culture. And so I've heard this many, many times. And I think, this weekend especially was really big for that, is as long as you do things with respect and integrity, and you're there to share and to love and to be a bridge and a voice, I don't understand why you would say no.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, I don't practice Santeria. Hell, I ain't got no crystal ball, but I was exploding, and I had to get it out, and I was hoping the lyrics would hit, because the whole time you were talking, I'm like, oh, we got to hit Sublime. Anyway.
You got to.
But that's what fascinates me about different cultures. Like, if they're genuine, they don't care. They'll invite you in and share it with you. I was in the Marine Corps and did some stuff. So I've been in some really third world places. And you know what? The poorer they are, the nicer they are. We're not, it ain't the people we're at war with.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I picked up.
That reminds me of when I was in Guatemala, and I remember I felt this joy in the streets every day. Even though I looked around, everything felt so impoverished. There was this happiness. And I remember going to the church in the square. And when I went to the church, there was just this beauty around it. But I had just read that during the revolution, they had the government or whoever it was, I don't remember, I don't know the history very well, they had taken over the church, and all these people were going missing. And after the revolution, the church, actually there was an earthquake and it opened up and the bodies were beneath. Okay, they found all the bodies. But when I went to the church, all you felt was joy. All you felt was, and so I talked to someone about this, because that's me. I just talk to random strangers, and I started asking these questions, and they said to me, they said, this is the only church we have. The past is our past, and we remember it, but we don't dwell on it. Right. And they said that this is today, and then I started to realize that's why everybody was so joyful, because they're so present. They don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. They don't know what the next hour is going to bring. Right. And that was a huge learning for me. Is you're right. The poorer people are, the happier they are, because they just have the now. They're just happy they're alive. They're happy they have their family. They're happy they have something on their table.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And animals, I think animals are very similar to that, because they're so present. Right. They're just so beautiful, and they teach us that. They teach us how to be present.
Well, if an animal doesn't trust us, like if my dog doesn't trust you, I sure as hell don't trust you.
Boom. Yeah. And relationships are the same. I'm sorry. But if you're on a date with someone and your animal don't trust that person,
100%.
Getting. That is the only. If a person you're sleeping with does not let your dog on that bed, boom.
Out. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dog stays in the bed. You're gone.
Yes.
My dog was here first.
I've
said
that before. My dog was here before you, and apparently will be here after you.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But that's a good segue to talking into. Let's talk about. So when did you first learn about the ability, and where would somebody go to learn more about this specific niche? I know tons of great psychics and mediums, and they do their classes and things, but it's a rarity to meet. I think I know one other animal psychic. So it just seems like, if somebody has this ability, but they're afraid of it because they don't know where to go, can you give us a little path to how you got here?
Well, I mean, I was a non-believer, to be honest with you. And I always believed that there was a limit to everything. And when I was in Guatemala, I met this woman, and she says, I want to take you up into the mountains and meet this medicine man. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that sounds like fun. So she took me up into the mountains, and I remember I thought, ooh, he's a medicine man. He's a shaman. So he's going to live in this big house, right? And he's going to be very rich, and everyone's going to, right. So I get there, and it's a shanty town. And there's this big metal door like you see in the movies. And this person comes to the door, and it kind of opens it. We see their eyes and says something, closes it. I'm thinking, I'm going to die today. And I remember sitting there, and she went inside and left me alone. And this little dog comes around the corner. And I didn't know anything about anything when it came to animals and such. And it came, and I could have swore I heard, we're going to take care of you. It's okay. And then the animal goes away, and I went around the corner, and it was gone. And I thought, okay, that was weird.
Right.
So then I go in, and there is this room, and it was like this huge stone with this hole in the top, and there was a fire going, and it looked like something out of Indiana Jones. And so they put these candles in my hand, and as they're doing the ceremony, I'm feeling like really lightheaded. All this, I'm thinking, if I have a vision, I know exactly why. And he turns around and he goes, you're going to talk to animals, and you're going to make a difference in the world. And the first thought in my head is, this guy's on crack. Pretty simple to me. And so the ceremony was profound. And I remember leaving, and I knew something had happened. And after that ceremony, I remember sitting at the villa, and I could hear this hummingbird that was sitting here. And the first thought in my head wasn't, oh my God, there's a hummingbird sitting inches away from my head. It was, I can hear you. What? Mm-hmm. And then I went home to Canada, and within a couple of weeks, I was sitting in front of my computer, and a friend of mine said, I'm going to this healing center. Would you like to come? And I said, yes. And they had these binders, and everybody was signing these binders and being polite. So I was being polite. A couple of weeks later, I was sitting at my desk, and my email came up, and it said, don't forget you have an animal communications course. And I'm like, excuse me, what? And my friend tells me I'm talking to her and I'm telling her, and she goes, you're going, right? And I'm like, hell no, I'm not. Come on, give me a break. She goes, you're going. And she dragged me there. By the end of the weekend, I was so convinced that this was true and real, because of a particular incident that happened during the weekend, that I went, yeah, you know what? I have to continue to do this with my life. And within, I'd say probably 6 to 8 weeks. And that's another thing. When you're on the right track, doors open like wildfire. They begin to open. I was working in this little store where I ended up shadowing and learning for the next 9.5 years. That became my home. And that's where I honed my skills. And so what I tell people who want to be on this path, whether it's with humans or whether it's with animals or anything, oh my God, who is this? This is a beautiful.
So that was weird. It wasn't supposed to pop up yet. But
Oh,
when it had it popped up. So I was going to say,
joyful. There's so much joy.
We got to talk about, he is no longer with us.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I just want to read. Is it okay if I just read? Is it okay if I do that? Okay.
Since it decided to pop up without my permission, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this animal is, I know you were saying he's passed, but it feels very present. This animal is constantly around. So even when you're working, you need to call on this animal's energy to work with you, to keep the vibration lifted and high. This animal is part of your spirit team and spirit tribe. Absolutely loves you, misses you like no tomorrow. If you want this animal to come back, you just need to call it and it will come back. I do believe in animal reincarnation, by the way, and cross species incarnation. Something this animal also is trying to show me is bubbles, something about bubbles, something about, it's almost like a bubble or something, glass or something. And it's looking in the bubble and can see its face, and it looks weird. The water bottle, the food bowl or the water bowl. It's almost like you can see its reflection, and it used to love it. Just so you know, one of the things it used to love to do is look in its bowl. Does that make sense at all? If it doesn't, that's okay.
I'm gonna let my wife answer. Yeah, I'm married into this puppy, so
okay.
Like there may be some things that she would know that I wouldn't.
Okay. So this puppy would look at its face, and it was like a funhouse mirror. So it would actually look forward to finishing its food so it could see itself. Does that make sense? Did it have like a silver bowl? Yeah, a silver bowl. Yeah. And it loved that silver bowl, just so you know. And it loved looking at itself, thought your wife was the prettiest thing ever, absolutely loved how she smelled. And don't say a bad word, because this puppy would bark at you. You say even one bad to her, and this is a she?
It's a he.
It is a he. Okay. This is why I was questioning, because I kept saying she. I'm like, no, this is not a she. He was never jealous. He absolutely loved you, but don't say a bad word about her. Because if this puppy had its own opinions, had its own mind, right? Metal bowls. Okay, perfect. Thank you. This puppy absolutely loved running around. Did it love to run around feet? It's almost like it was a game, running around feet.
I'm going to say, yeah. Well, running around in general, because I used to, or I would chase him, he'd chase me.
Yeah. And just absolutely love. That was the puppy's favorite game, my favorite game. Did you have another dog who's passed? Do you have another dog who's passed? Because there is another dog here, and I feel like this dog, I don't know if it's not this kind of brown. It's bigger and it's darker brown with a little bit of white. Who had that dog?
I mean, it kind of sounds like one of my old ranch dogs.
Okay, so with my abilities, so I'm very unique as an animal communicator. Animal communicators, a lot of the time, will talk to the animals who are present. I talk to those ones who are past, even in past lives. Okay? That's a ranch dog, and this dog does not want to be forgotten. He just wants to be acknowledged. Okay. For you, do you have an ancestor altar, Brandon?
Sort of.
Yeah, you need to make an ancestor altar, but you need to not forget the animals. They literally want you to either put pictures or something belong to them in your ancestor altar. And this is for everybody who's watching right now. When you have an ancestor altar, remember that your animals are your ancestors. They're your spirit family. So it's okay to put your animals on. Like for me, I have more animal ancestors and spirit family than I do humans. Okay. Yeah, so that's a big thing for me. Do you have any questions about this dog or anything you'd want me to ask or talk about? Hello.
I mean, the obvious, but is he?
The absolute joy and love, and all it wants to do is say hi. All it's trying to do is say, like, every time I can feel the spirit of this animal. I can feel and this animal is a spirit level animal. So there are 4 levels of communication: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. This animal can actually speak on every level. So it understood what you said. It understood what you thought. It understood how you felt.
Yep.
Okay. And that's where you two communicate, because you're just a big teddy bear. You are highly emotional mental, and that's where you two communicate. Whereas I still feel guilty because I feel I waited too long to put him down and made him suffer. I love him so much. Absolutely.
There's the question that I was hesitating. I didn't know if she was going to ask that or not.
Absolutely not. So the reason I can say that with 100% certainty, and trust me, I'm not the kind of animal communicator or psychic that's going to butter it. I will tell you with discernment, but in this particular case, the joy I'm feeling from this animal, this crossing was perfect. No, mommy, I was just fine. I think you did exactly what this puppy wanted you to do, to be honest. I don't think this puppy really wanted to leave. So when the decision was made, I think nobody wanted, but it's almost like death was kind of going, or the those who are on the other side were saying, yeah, it's time, you have to go now, right? And the way I see death with both humans and animals is your ancestors come closer and closer and closer, and the closer they get, the more I know it's time. These ones literally came so close, they gave you so much time together that they literally waited until it was possible to wait any longer. So no, baby, you did everything right. Okay, you did everything right. Even when you kissed, I feel like you kissed her. Like the last thing you did was either give her a kiss. Yeah, give her a kiss on her head. I feel like one of the last things you did was give her a kiss on the head, and it's almost like then she was able to take her last breath. Okay. And I feel like those moments, like the way she looked at you, is like, it's okay. I know now. I get it. I get it. Okay. And then I hear something about sister or brother. It's almost like there's another animal on the other side who was there to kind of go, okay, come on, it's time to go now. Okay. So you need to know at no point, and this is something you also think about, at no point is this animal ever alone. Okay. She's never alone. She has friends on the other side, and she also has friends who came to get her and family who came to get her. Okay. Your grandmother, your wife's grandmother, is saying hello. Is your wife's grandmother passed?
Yeah.
Brandon? Yeah, she's saying hello, just so you know. And sometimes humans will pop in. So this is why I do by session, not by animal, because of everything that comes through.
I mean, that makes more sense to me. I've been in this a long time, and I've seen and heard any type of way you can explain it. When somebody says, look, I'm just going to talk to your animal, and that's the only person I'm going to talk to, I'm like, do you know how psychic abilities work?
A lot of psychics, a lot of animal communicators especially, will take advantage of that, and they will say it's per animal. So if you have 3 animals, you're paying for the animal and then $50 extra for whichever, especially with horses. With me, I can't fathom doing that. So for me, it's per session, and just bring them all in, parade them in. I don't care. Come on in.
And you've done stuff. You've helped us before too, with Tiger, my kitty that passed. That's why I'm like emotional, because I just know. And one of the things I asked you when you were here is about pet communication, because I just wondered, the first time I met you, Gumbo had his first surgery, right, on his knee.
I remember.
And we brought you in. Mom and Dad were so like, oh my God, are we doing everything right? And then before you left, one of the things I asked you about pet communication was, I think we all, or a lot of us, do it, and we don't know we're doing it. And I think sometimes what it looks like to people is they sit back and think, oh my God, they almost know what I'm saying. But sometimes they do.
No, all the time they do. So
Yeah.
okay, this is for people who are psychic and not psychic. So people who are psychic, like you, Jen, like that was obvious to me right from the moment we met, and you were still finding that beautiful self that you've become. You know, I have a lot of psychics who go, how do you talk to animals? Because I can do humans. I'm like, no, pshaw. The reality is that if you can talk to a dead person, you can talk to an animal, you can talk to a tree, you can talk to any energy is energy. The only limit now I believe the only limitations we put on the only limitations we have are the ones we put on ourselves. Yeah. So, and Jen, I mean, that's obvious to me that you're, you know, as much of an animal communicator as I am, you know, and you and I have discussed that, how, you know, you've had your experience as well. That's just about honing that aspect of your psychic ability. People come to me now because they want to do psychic development classes. And I always tell people, your psychic abilities are there. It's developing your confidence in your psychic abilities that we're going to do together.
And we've both talked about that that confidence is a lifelong journey as a psychic for a lot of people. Yeah. When just after talking to you, I just let it go. Because you did say, I've talked to trees. I'm like, you're right. Energy is energy. Okay. And I kind of let a little bit of it go. And even I've been able to, with other people's pets, are like, what's wrong with my pet? And I'm like, well, this happened to him, this happened to him, this happened to him.
Right.
And they'd be like, how the hell do you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, they speak in pictures, they speak in thoughts, they speak in words, they're just like people.
Yeah. It's the differences between humans and animal spirits and what the difference is in communicating with them.
I don't think anything.
Honestly, we have expectations of human spirits, how they're going to communicate, what they're going to communicate, how they're going to present themselves, all these things. With animals, because it's such a foreign thing to us, we have less expectation. So we're more open to it, and their vibrations are a little bit lighter, right? So it's easier. We have this sense of reason that we depend on, and we have these, again, expectations. That's the difference. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a cool journey, and I'm very interested. I don't care what I'm doing at 10 o'clock in the morning during Paracon, my butt's gonna be in your seat. I'm gonna be there.
I just can't wait to hug you and hold you. I really.
Where is she gonna sit if you're in her seat? She needs to.
I'm gonna sit in her lap. I sit in her lap.
Ladies and gentlemen, that just do I hear $25? Do I hear 30? All proceeds go to Veteran Voice Radio, a nonprofit, and to my attorney.
Because I had a good time.
I this is just going to be such a great opportunity for so many people. I'm still working on an event for you. I've got 2 different things for you to do on the side. A local pet shop, hopefully, and a friend's house. Here's a thing that.
Okay, sorry. Before you say anything, I cannot believe Bido was this animal's name?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what I kept seeing? Do you remember? The hell was the name of that show? And he had that little robot, and he went bitty 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 bitty. What was the name of that?
That was
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah,
Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
All I kept hearing was bitty 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 bitty.
Because that's how I would say his name.
Oh my God! I kept hearing that,
and I would think about that robot.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That is the only thing that was in my head, and I thought, I have no idea where this is coming. But do you see how it's revealed? Do you see how it's always validated?
And so now I'll say,
that's insane.
So I laid down to take a nap the other night, and as soon as I laid down, I felt little footsteps. Well, the other dogs were downstairs, and it happens all the time when it's nap time. So I'm like, yeah, he's still around.
I will, Brandon, I'll be right back.
Okay. All righty.
And so the dog calls and we gotta go, right?
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. Like if my dog came up, that's why I have a gate and a door closed.
Right.
If not, he would be up here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I have animals at home too. I actually live with 2 snakes, a golden doodle, a wolf from Romania, and a Maine Coon. And it's so funny. We go to the vet and it's not the wolf that people are looking at. It's a Maine Coon.
Right. Yeah. Good. That's a big old damn cat. is what that is.
Massive.
Yeah.
And I love them all, but as an animal communicator, it's so wonderful to have all of these wonderful creatures around us, and they're my everything. I just stops with them. And I have this, my one dog, like I'll have like 8 readings in a day. She will know the second my last reading has happened because she's in the room. So it's kind of funny.
As my buddy Blaine Rohan, he's going to be there at the Paracon with us. So can't wait for everybody to meet him. He is a shaman out of Alabama.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to meet all these. That's what I said to Jen. I said, I will forgo payment. I will forgo everything. I don't care. Just the one thing I ask is that you introduce me to people, because that's what I'm excited about. I want to meet everybody. That's what
I love doing. Yeah. I'm generally not at my booth, which is, I guess, bad because, some people say they want to meet me or whatever. You come find me. I can't sit there.
That's one of the reasons, especially for the speakers and the vendors, that's one of the reasons we're doing the VIP meet and greet. And so vendor area Friday night before it opens for 45 minutes, where you get to walk around and see who else is there. You get to see the celebrities. You get to see the other vendors. You get to meet and greet. You get to see what they got on their table. Then you have another opportunity after our voodoo ceremony that's going to happen to open the show during the VIP party to further meet and greet. That way, once it starts, you've had 3+ hours of opportunity to meet everybody.
Congratulations. This is such an amazing thing you're doing. Congratulations. So proud of you and Chris.
We're
so proud of you.
We're excited. This is stemming from a need for education in the paranormal.
100%.
Ethical, legitimate need for education in all areas. I was talking to our social media girl, Paula Dietko. She's in with the group tonight or this weekend with us. And she
I heard it was Paula Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, yes. Paula, sorry. She
That's what I heard. My bad.
Diet Coke. I can never say it right. She's from Ohio.
Now it's going to be Diet Coke every time you talk to her. I apologize. I have ruined Pam. I have ruined y'all's.
You'll never unhear it.
I'm never going to
unring that damn bell.
Paula Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
She's a great investigator, and she and her partner are both also have abilities. And the thing we were talking about today was they have no outlets. I'm like, if I don't have much of an outlet living in the French Quarter in New Orleans, and it took me 3 years to find a mentor for the beginning stages, and now I need a new one. How is somebody in Ohio? How is somebody in rural North Carolina? How is someone in rural Wisconsin? How are they going to find an outlet?
Sorry, we had a troll, but it was funny, so I needed.
Aren't they fun?
Did you not see it? Okay, here's.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Okay, since we're going there and we're having this moment of sincerity and we're getting to know the real all of us, I would root vegetable.
Load in a ghost if a ghost was okay with it. Well, really? Okay, wait.
But see, how would they?
I have to go to the washroom and that thing is on the toilet. I got no problem. If that's what we're talking about right now, if he's sitting there and I got to go.
No, that's not what he's talking about.
I mean.
Then what are we talking about?
I mean, so what country are you from?
Canada.
So y'all are very polite as far as we know here in the.
Can I polite it? If you were going to finish intimacy with
if you were going to copulate and have coitus.
Okay, that was really polite on my part. I thought I was being gross. Oh,
yeah, that was super. No. But I was like,
different level.
Okay, so and root vegetables would as well. So
whose answer are you but root vegetable, are you answering Brandon or me? The toilet question?
Root vegetable posed the question.
Yeah, root vegetable is the one that posed the question. So now he's agreeing with me that he would indeed copulate with said spirit. So I guess it's a guy thing, because how are the ladies gonna leave a load in a spirit?
Yeah, right.
Like a load of laundry.
Fair
like
enough.
A load of.
Wait, first question for a woman always is, but is he cute? Is it a
He's
cute?
got a good personality.
I had that happen. So this woman comes on. She's one of my clients, and I'm telling her about her guide, and I'm going, well, your guide is this, and your guide is that, and your guide. And she goes, I only have one question for you. And I said, what? And she goes, is he cute? And I'm like, what? What? Sure. Actually, he really was.
Trains off the rails.
We have gone
Way
off
off
the
the
rails.
rails. I don't know.
Well,
It just so happens we've got 15 minutes, about 15 minutes left in the show.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Like it flies.
it does. Yeah, we
So,
asked last night.
Let's
we
make
asked,
sure to get.
Okay,
How
before
come
we
you've
do
never
that though,
seen
if you're a
me before?
paranormal investigator, don't forget about animals on an investigation. That's all I'm going to say to you.
They
Okay?
show up doing nautical
100%.
nightmares.
My dog knows me.
We did nautical nightmares in San Francisco with Father Ken, Father Bob, and Sam Beltrusis. Father Bob and Sam are going to be at the Paracon. And it's funny, Sam and Heather went and were doing a seance.
I like
and
Sam. Sam's a good guy.
Chris and I were on the other parts of this aircraft carrier from World War II. And I'm walking around, I was like, there's like a golden retriever here running around the ship.
Right?
And I said something and I got a couple eye rolls and I'm like, nope, there's a dog here. And so met up with Sam and Heather. I said, how'd the seance go? He goes, great. And I said, weird question. Did you see a dog? He said, yes, I saw it too. I'm like, thank God it wasn't just me.
And this is why I love working with other readers too, because of the validations, right?
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like when I do my seances, I always have four readers one in each quarter, and we work together and it's such a brilliant experience. I love it when we do that kind of stuff. But yeah, animals are definitely a part of paranormal investigations. We did an event at the exhibition place here in Toronto, and all weekend people were like, okay, the soldiers, because it was a deployment center, the Horse Palace, and it was one of our last deployment centers before he went off. And I remember, let's not forget the horses and the rats and the cats and all the other animals who have stories for us about what they saw coming through as well. It was pretty amazing, the things that we were able to connect with. And even through the spirit box, it was pretty an incredible experience. And I have had animals come through the spirit box as well.
I've heard it too.
Yeah.
I have to. I have to.
I've heard living animal wise, horses are so just in both worlds at all times.
Yes. They're liminal creatures. Yes, they are. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
horses, snakes, ravens. Yeah, absolutely.
And then cats are like maybe like right below that.
Yeah, cats have a sense of what's going on, and they can travel, but more in the way a human can, whereas horses are literally in two worlds. There are these animals called spirit. They're spirit level animals, and they can literally communicate on every level, which is what Bido was. And what's really, really interesting is those animals are liminal. They can be here, they can be there at any time. But certain species, that's their magic, right? Like humans, every culture has a magic.
Right.
You know, the Italians have the knowing, and you know, the African and Hoodoo have the bones and the stones and all that kind of stuff. Every culture has, like the animals, they have their abilities too. Right. And that's the horses and the snakes and the ravens are a very good example of being liminal creatures, you know, being in two worlds for sure.
Would that explain too why horses get so spooked so easily?
Well, the easiest way to explain a horse, I cowboyed out west for a while, and I've been around horses, and I'll tell you, an old timer told me this. Inside every horse, there's actually two horses. There's the left horse and the right horse. Because they use both sides of their brains at the same time to construct the image.
Interesting.
So that's why you need to touch every time you go around to the other side, because technically you're coming around to a new horse.
Wow.
So that's how the brain works.
That actually explains so much. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I've really understood about horses is that they're healers. You know, and that's one of their biggest gifts is that they heal. And this is one of the reasons we use them for therapy. It's one of the reasons we use for that kind of thing. But they're very particular. when they have somebody on them, they have to really connect to them. And usually it's somebody that is, are they left brain or right brain? And I've really noticed that, because very academic, I know it's going to sound really weird, but very academic and intelligent horses really tend towards intuitive riders, but intuitive horses tend towards more academic people who are very, high IQ, that kind of thing, because it balances them out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And that piece of information is really nurtured. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I mean, I could tell that phrase to a 6-year-old or a 60-year-old. And it gets across perfect that you're not dealing with just regular prey animal, even though they are prey. But once you look at, how they break the world down, they're going to see right through a human mask.
That's right. Yeah. They're beautiful creatures, just beautiful. But every creature is, except mosquitoes. They're all beautiful creatures. Yeah. Mosquitoes are the only ones that can't. I've had situations with mosquitoes.
Yeah. I don't like them. Like, I don't like this really bright neon light that I thought was so cool when we started.
Nope.
All in my face, making my facey glow.
Well, I remember when I started animal communications, I was in the car, right? So I was all excited to use my animal communications and my abilities. And there was this mosquito in the car. And I thought, ooh, what would it be like to be a mosquito, to feel a mosquito? So I started to kind of just slowly allow myself to tap in. And all of a sudden I felt myself getting really, slap. And I'm like, oh, what the was that? And I thought, never again.
Nope, I don't want to.
And, you asked a question earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it. How do people, if they want to be an animal communicator, how would they do this? How would they connect to that? That's really just literally, and I'm sorry, it's going to sound new agey, but get outside and just open yourself up and see what you get. Dismiss nothing. I teach 3 things: listen, dismiss nothing, and act on it. Listen to what you're getting. Dismiss nothing. It's a game. Allow it to inform you. And then act on it, whatever that means. Acknowledge what you're getting. Or if you're hearing, oh, you know what? I really want a bone, or you see a bone, just give it. What's the worst that can happen? You're wrong, right? And every time you're right, it's going to grow your confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, that's just a basic way of saying it, but there are exercises and there are things that you can grow that muscle with, just like anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, I teach classes. There are people who do teach animal communications as well, and we'll help you at least get the techniques down, or help you understand that you're already doing it, because you are. I told my mother that I was a psychic, and I literally, my whole family kind of just turned away from me. And then I remember calling her and saying to her, I have something to tell you. And she goes, oh my God, what now? And I'm like, huh. And I said to her, it turns out I can talk to animals. And there was a silence on the phone. And then she turned around and she goes, now that I believe. And I'm like, what? And I nearly fell off my chair. And she goes, yeah. She goes, when you're a kid, it was like you were talking to the animals. The animals were talking to you. She goes, you were always with animals around you and in your pockets, and you come in with animals. And people are more apt to accept an animal communicator than they are even a medium or a human psychic or anybody who works in humanity.
Right.
Well, you'd be surprised at how there's psychics around ranches. It's pretty regular.
Yeah.
That's part of the process. So.
Well, and do you think that we're more apt to believe, okay, let's just take current social media aside. We're more apt to believe someone who can communicate with animals, because before this was a real big animal thing on social media, there's no way you could look up, oh, and her dog likes green balls. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way you could look it up.
It's actually easier to validate an animal communications than it is a human communications, because we as pet parents, we know everything about our animals. So when somebody says something, it's like, how could you possibly know that?
Right.
That's whoa. And with animals, if you are a legitimate communicator, that's an easy thing to do. Like the bit, like what are the odds?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are things like that happen all the time. I was doing a podcast and the cameraman, I said, "Oh, I really like your little black dog. Can we talk about?" And the podcast host was like, "Oh," like he's going, "Oh God, he doesn't have a dog. Like he just, just don't say." And he told me that later. The camera guy goes, "Oh, I really love the dog." And he's like, "What the hell?" And he goes, "Yeah, I just got a couple of weeks ago. I haven't even told Sahas yet, the podcast host."
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, there's that.
Wow.
It's like things like that. Right? It's like the animals want to speak with you. They want to connect with you. They want to talk. And it's so easy to talk to them too, because there's such open channels. There's no baggage.
Right.
People always ask that question about, well, if ghosts are real and animal communications was real, how come we don't see dinosaurs? Right? Dinosaurs have no baggage, people. Why would they
then all of a sudden,
I have an issue.
Yeah.
I got hit by a meteorite. I have trauma.
Oh, it's right there. It is. Not to mama.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry. And we're back.
And we're back off rails. Woohoo!
We're dating ourselves, man. We're dating ourselves.
So, Angel, if they are unfortunate enough to not be able to make the Paracon here in New Orleans,
that would be a tragedy.
It would be a
travesty.
Yes.
Where can they see
Look
you?
out,
And
it's
what
a
else
thesaurus.
do you have going on?
Well, I have my website, raisingenergy.com, which is actually being overhauled right now, angelmorganpetpsychic.com. But I also have a new podcast coming out as of June, and Jen is going to be on it, and it's called Creature Code Podcast. And the Creature Code Podcast is about animal communications, but we're going to veer into other realms as well and go off the rails, as Brandon would say, and do other things. So I'm going to be starting my own podcast, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. But you can find me on Instagram as well. So I'm always looking for the follows. Love having that. Everything I do is usually posted on IG, on Facebook, and on my website. But raisingenergy.com if you want a reading for either humans or pets. Instagram if you want, and I put in tips and techniques there too for animal communications and psychic work and that kind of thing, because that's what I really drive on, is watching people grow. So I really want to help them. Yeah.
Awesome. And that the website's in the chats.
Yeah, when I type it correctly, it is.
When you type,
And whoever's out there listening, that's my crowd. If you're in the New Orleans area, I better see you at the Paracon, people. I better see you there.
Yeah, me too. And bring me a beignet.
Got a little jar with your name on it if you don't.
For sure.
Jar with your name on it.
So I had to go. So I had to kick out a minute. My doorbell kept ringing, and it was the people that live in back. It was their food, because the guy rang the wrong doorbell, and they weren't tracking their DoorDasher.
Oh,
very irritating.
So
don't track me.
I don't know why I keep wanting to come back to this, but you did, and in the brief time that we have, you were talking about Tiger before, and I just want you to know that there's a lot of peace there now, and it wants to really say thank you, because you know how important you were to Tiger too, and that connection and that bond. You weren't crazy, okay? Like that bond was deep for Tiger as well. And you need to know too that it's like I want the paw to kind of either go on your face or do something about that with the paw. And I feel like just touching the paws was so important.
I did not hear paw. I heard pot. And I'm like, why does the cat need to put the pot on her face? I apologize.
I was in the room.
Yeah.
I was in the room. Chris couldn't do it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of gratitude to that. And where Chris is concerned, because now that you've said that, I'm kind of going, so how did you kind of feel about that? And he goes, it's okay. It's sad. It's okay. And what's really funny with Chris is a very unique individual, because even though he physically wasn't in the room, he was actually, because Tiger showed me, he saw his ghost, his spirit. So his spirit was there. And behind you, there was an old woman and there was an old man who was in the room with you too. And there was also a woman in the room with you too that were family. But do you have a guide or a guardian who's masculine, a male, like a guy?
I don't know. I don't understand who my spirit guides are, to be
Okay, we
honest.
gotta work on that because this guy's very powerful and he can lead you into really, really cool places. But just so you know, while you were grieving, while you were going through that process, he was there, and it's almost like, look into my eyes, you're going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Okay.
Yeah, my grandmother and on my dad's side, my grandpa on my mom's side were probably there. They're who I see a lot. We've actually seen Tiger since she's passed in our house. Like, Chris has physically seen her to the point where he's like,
Yeah.
and he's looked at me. I've seen her a couple times.
Yeah.
She's still around. And that's something with animals. I feel like they really, they don't leave us. They wait for us. I feel like they do.
A lot of times it's interesting. A lot of times as people are crossing over, if I'm in their presence, and I do a lot of death work, if I'm in their presence, I will say, do you see any of your animals? And they will, like, they'll see their brothers and their sisters, but we don't acknowledge the animals. So the minute we make mention of animals, all of a sudden it's like, and there's a joy. And I find that helps people cross actually a lot more peacefully as well. That's a huge part of, so this is one of the things I try to make death doulas and people who work with those crossing over aware of, is make sure you talk about their animals in their last days and their last moments, so that their spirit is open to receiving the animals who will help them cross as well. So if anybody is experiencing that right now, talk to that person that you're caring for, or that you're visiting, or that you're with, about the animals they had when they were kids, about the animals that and that way it will open them to receiving those as well. Because the animals they come to receive us.
I promise you, the last Roddy that we lost, Bobo, I promise you, he trained our new Roddy Gumbo. I promise you.
Yeah.
There is no way. We didn't take Gumbo to formal training. We just did what we do. There's no way a puppy, especially a German Rottweiler, a Roman Rottweiler, but still they're German, could just know and do in the time that we, when he was a puppy, the things that he did.
Just so you know, he was in both surgeries with Gumbo, so he wouldn't be alone. So he was
Bobo was with Gumbo. Good. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bobo.
Yeah.
I feel like, sometimes I just look at our dog and I go, what did we do so right?
Right.
You just wonder. I just wonder sometimes, what did we do so right? But I swear they were with them. And I don't think pets leave you. I just don't. I think they're always with you. Yep. And I think they wait for you and they don't leave till you go.
I feel like with animals, like we're what I usually do is I say, I give this example. Archangel Michael is an angel, and he can be anywhere, any place, anytime he wants. He's limitless. We're made in the form of divinity, therefore we're similar. So even with animals, I believe that animals will stay with us, but that doesn't mean they can't cross over and reincarnate and what have you. I had an animal who was a reincarnation, and his name was Yoshi. He was a black cat. And I remember one night I felt something on the bed, and I looked at it and I could have swore it was Yoshi. And then I got up and Yoshi was in the doorway, and I looked back and that cat was gone. And I know that cat was his last life, right?
Yeah.
And so I know for a fact, at being an animal communicator, that even though an animal passes, they can always be with us. But that doesn't mean they can't reincarnate back to us. That doesn't mean they can't go and do whatever else they need to do. We are limitless beings. What was that last comment about the hospice? I missed that.
That's Brandon's wife. Yeah.
Let me pull that back up real quick.
And years ago, when my long-term patient passed, the dog and I saw him standing, walked out of his body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Haunted Syndicate, by the way.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah. And I love that. I love it when people allow their animals to be part of their death process. And when pet parents allow the pets to be a part of their pets crossing, I think that's exceptionally important, you know, and even as an animal communicator, when people bring me out in for aftercare and they're like, is my animal okay? Have they crossed over? I always make sure to talk to the animals who are still living, the brothers, the sisters, the siblings who are there, because they're going to miss that animal too. They're grieving as well. when Mumbai crossed over, my cat, I remember Lulabelle, my snake, one day she looked at me and she went, sorrow. And she only says one word. I only ever hear it. And I'm like, sorrow, what are you going on about? Like, I was literally like, what are you going on about? And then I started getting images of Mumbai and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize there was a relationship there. Right. Yeah. And I remember for a few days she had been in her hiding and that wasn't like her. And I thought maybe she was shedding, but she wasn't. And I didn't realize she was grieving.
Right? Oh, they do grieve.
Yeah. And this was a snake. And this was a snake. And you're just like, wow. Like, you know, animals, people will say snakes and spiders. I had a spider. They don't have feelings. They don't have bullshit. My spider, did you know spiders, when they want to play with you, they actually put their, like a dog, they put their bums up and they put their fronts down in play position.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. It's always, it's always with the app.
Oh my God, that was